It's 3 a.m. in Delhi. The winter air is cold enough to ache. You wake up, reach for a cigarette, and find the pack empty. Without even thinking, you're out the door, walking blocks through the wind to reach the one shop that stays open all night. You stare at the burning cigarette in your hand and realize your legs moved on autopilot, ignoring your brain's protests. This is the frustration of the failed resolution. You plan the gym routine, outline the startup, or set a new schedule, only to watch yourself abandon the effort after 2 weeks. The standard explanation is that we are lazy or lack the willpower to follow through. We assume discipline is a resource we simply didn't inherit. But the struggle isn't a lack of effort. Our brains are hardwired to prioritize familiarity over progress. Every time we reach for the old habit, we are choosing the safety of a known routine over the uncertainty of change. We build an invisible cage out of the expectations of our parents, the pressure of our peers, and our own history of small failures. Staying inside that cage feels safe, while stepping out feels like a threat to our survival. Psychologist Dr. William Miller studied people who experienced quantum change, radical shifts in behavior that happen overnight. He found these weren't random events, but the result of pressure building beneath the surface for years, much like tectonic plates grinding together before an earthquake. To break out of your current routine, you don't need a new habit tracker. You need to engineer a psychological earthquake that shatters your existing sense of self. Traditional advice tells us to visualize success, the wealth, the health, the freedom. But these images are often too abstract to overcome the immediate comfort of the couch or the cigarette. Real change requires an anti-vision. You have to vividly imagine your life 15 years from now if you stay exactly as you are today. The mounting regret, the physical decline, and the suffocating feeling of a life left on the shelf. Associating intense pain with your current trajectory is often the only way to override the brain's addiction to comfort. We see this pattern in the life of Larry Ellison. At age 12, a casual dinner conversation revealed he was adopted, an event that upended his understanding of his own history. His family pressured him toward a stable career as a doctor, but he walked away from medical school to chart his own path. He traded the security of a degree for a sailboat and a series of programming jobs in California. Ellison brought that same willingness to reject the safe path to the tech industry. While competitors focused on clunky, hardware-dependent systems, he bet everything on a theoretical concept called a relational database, founding the company that would become Oracle. The bet paid off. Oracle grew at a historic rate, doubling its revenue nearly every year for a decade. By the time the company went public, Ellison's stake was worth $93 million in a single day, cementing Oracle as a global market leader. But his success created a new cage. By 1990, Ellison's aggressive, unstructured management style nearly bankrupted the company. Oracle reported its first quarterly loss, and the stock price plummeted from $28 to $5. Ellison was facing a new anti-vision, the total collapse of his company, and a market dominated by a younger, more disciplined competitor named Bill Gates. To survive, he had to destroy his own ego. He stepped back from daily operations and brought in outside experts to transform Oracle into a structured organization, effectively upgrading himself to a disciplined Larry 2.0. This evolution allowed Oracle to scale from a software provider to a dominant force in global data infrastructure. Ellison proved that long-term success requires the willingness to repeatedly break your own identity. Whether the goal is quitting a personal habit or pivoting a multi-billion-dollar corporation, the shift starts with the same internal architecture. First, you must label the undesirable behavior and identify the feeling it provides. Whether it's smoking or procrastination, the root is always a search for safety in the familiar. Next, build your 15-year anti-vision based on that safety. Once the pain of staying the same becomes clear, write a contrary identity statement, such as, "I am someone who takes calculated risks." Finally, find the crack. This is the smallest possible action you can take today that your old self would never do. A tiny hairline fracture at the base of your old identity is enough to begin destabilizing the entire structure. This one small action provides the empirical evidence your brain needs to believe a new identity is possible. You don't need to rebuild your life overnight. You only need to strike the first blow against your old self today, before the time runs out.